to the Wolf Den here at Fremont High School for this edition of High School Rewind, available on Xfinity On Demand as the Fremont Silverwolves host the Layton Lancers in a Region 1 clash. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Dane Stewart here to bring you tonight's action. We are really excited to bring you this game between a couple of teams that figure to be Region 1 contenders. Let's start with the visiting Layton Lancers. Of course, this team comes in 6-5 overall, but don't let that record deceive you. 3 of those 5 losses are to premier teams in the state. They have losses to Lone Peak, Copper Hills, both of whom are in the top 5 in 5A, and the Bountiful Braves, the top team in 4A, by a combined 10 points. So this Layton team has shown that they have the ability to play with some of the premier teams here in the state. They are led by a D1 commit, that being Jerice Blackman, has committed to UCSB. The future Gaucho will be on display here tonight for the Layton Lancers. He leads the team in points and rebounds. Actually, last year, his junior year, he averaged a double-double. His numbers are a little, well, back down to earth this year, averaging 16 points per game and 8 rebounds per game coming into tonight's action. He's got a younger brother as well, that being Julian Blackman. He averages about 6.5 points per game, but number 1 on the team in assists. The point guards had a really nice junior season. For the Layton Lancers, they've got a lot of secondary scoring this year, including guys like Jacoby Kemp and Matt Cragen, both of these averaging 7 points per game coming into tonight, and any one of them can step up on any given night and really provide that supplemental scoring for this offensive attack for the Lancers, coming off a really close win over the Weber Warriors, and Layton fans hoping that that ability to finish that game late will translate into the rest of the season. They may need to gather that ability again here tonight against this Fremont team, because these Silverwolves, this basketball program is on the rise here in 2014 and 2015. Led by Coach Mullaney, they come in 7-5 overall, coming off a really tough loss to the Davis Darts, a game in which Jesse Wade, senior guard for Davis, absolutely went off with a career high. But it was Justin Shaw who led the way for Fremont, 20 points and 5 rebounds for the Silverwolves in that losing effort. He's only been back for just a couple games. The senior quarterback on the football team got injured late in the football season, thus his presence on the basketball team has been a little delayed this year. While he was out, they had a number of players really step up and lead the way, including Spencer Jones, Grant Belknap, as well as Trevor Allen. All 3 of these averaging over 10 points per game, 12, 11, and 11, respectively, coming in tonight. Shaw in his 3 games back, averaging 16. So a lot of offensive weapons going to be on display tonight for the Silverwolves. 1-1 in region play, trying to get the bitter taste out of their mouth from that Davis loss and try to recoup here tonight against a very good Layton squad. This Fremont team has not defeated Layton since 2012. That's almost 3 years without a victory over the Lancers. Can they change that streak here tonight? That's the big question as both these 2 teams look for a real propelling win as the early stage of region play gets underway. And with that, now let's send you down to tonight's center circle for the opening tip. Shaw against Kemp, and it's Kemp who tips back to Julian Blackman. Talked about him in our open, number 1 for the Lancers as they work the perimeter here. Cross-court pass, 3-ball on the way, short. And the rebound brought in by Spencer Jones of the Silverwolves as he leads it down the other way inside the key. Now finds Shaw going right to the hoop, and that one came off. Boy, good look for the senior. Just couldn't get it to roll as Julian back the other way for the Lancers. Gives a little shake. Nice no-look pass to Kemp, and that one won't fall. And tough shooting both ways here early on, 30 seconds in. Is now back, and Fremont will set up with their first offensive possession. Again, here's Spencer Jones with it. Talked about him in our open, was leading the team in scoring while Shaw was gone at 12 points per game. It's Layton into a little zone here. Inside to Shaw, working on Kemp, and lost control of that as he tried to make a move. Good defense down low by Jacoby Kemp. It's going to be a fun matchup to watch. Jerice Blackman gets a lot of the press. Kemp at 6'8", and that's him, and leaves it short, and then a late foul call going to be called on Nate Wadsworth. That will be our first foul of the game. Kemp made his first free throw, second one up, no good, 1-0. Our score here from Fremont. Layton with the 1 point. That ball tapped by Julian Blackman, trying to take advantage of the steal. Instead, we're going to get a foul call again here as Julian Blackman able to draw a contact. This foul going to be called on Spencer Jones, his first. Good aggressive play there by Julian Blackman, able to draw the contact. This inbound pass up top now with Jarice trying to split it. They're going to say he walked with it, turns it over. Little full court press here put on by the Lancers. Able to dribble through it as Jones now up. Three ball on the way from Grant Belknap, no good. As that ball rebounded by Matt Cragen for Layton and then nearly turned over as we get another foul. And this will be number 2 on the senior guard, Spencer Jones. Jones will head to the bench. Again, just picked up his second as now Cameron Chugg, the 5'9" senior guard, has checked in for Fremont. Jarice has the double team, now passes out of it. Cross court, three ball, good. Boston Armitstead, the number 1 3-point shooter, and then he picks up the turnover. Kemp, and an offensive foul there called on Kemp as stepping in was Nate Wadsworth, able to draw the charge. 4-0, our early score here. Just a couple minutes in, a dangerous pass as Armitstead Cragen almost able to come up with that turnover, but safely down to the other end of the floor. Boy, what an athletic drive, missed it, and the putback is good. And the Silverwolves are on the board with Nate Wadsworth, the board, putting it back, and it's 4-2 Layton. There's now a little token pressure. Layton able to break it. Boy, beautiful passing as Kemp goes up and can't get that to fall. He'll head back to the line to shoot 2 as Trevor Allen picks up his first foul. Kemp's first free throw good, second attempt good as well. And the junior forward, Kemp, just a junior. 3 of 4 from the line as this ball thrown away. After Kemp made both free throws, Fremont threw it away, so it's Layton ball out underneath the basket. Cragen goes up, that's a tough turnaround, able to hit it. And it's 8-2 early on, again pressure put on by the Lancers. Shaw, up the floor it goes, into the hands of Cameron Chugg, now a baseline jumper. No good, a little long by Nate Wadsworth, and that ball was tapped, and they're going to say a travel. Boy, I thought that time Allen got a hand on it. Now officials are going to confer. The other two didn't have it, so I think, oh no, official has changed his call, so agreed it will be Layton ball. Boy, an odd sequence there, is able to get it to Julian Blackman on the run. He's going to drive straight to the hoop, and that one rolls off the rim as it's Trevor Allen that comes down with it. Now being pressured again. We've seen this from Layton. It's been very good for them here in the early going as we approach the midway point in this first quarter. Still 8-2. Layton has come out of the gate strong. 3-pointer and 3 free throws have really helped the cause as Chugg thought about the 3. Jarice Blackman came out on him, so Fremont now working that perimeter still. Zone defense here by Layton and a lot of length in that zone. Little floater, and that one's good for Grant Belknap. Averages 11.5 a game, his first points of the night by Belknap. Talked about the offense in the open for these two squads. Belknap, a top 5 defender in 5A, as attacking the hoop. Count the bucket for Matt Cragen. He'll go to the line to shoot 1. Allen has picked up his second. He heads to the bench as Max Hubbard has come on for the Silverwolves. Free throw is good by Cragen. And it is 11-4. Boy, dangerous pass, nearly stolen. Now Fremont has numbers. They can get it up quickly. They do. 3-pointer on the way from Chugg. Back of the iron, rebound. Now a loose ball, able to be chased down and then nearly turned over. Instead, it's Cameron Chugg again. And that ball deflected out of play by Cragen. It will stay here with the home team. Well, I tell you what, last year Layton had some good defensive pieces. This year, the defense looks athletic and quick, taking away a lot of passing lanes and forcing a lot of turnovers or at least delay. But you see that trap coming in the corner. Back up top it goes. Belknap put it on the floor, kicks out to Chugg. Another 3-pointer, no good. Rebounded by Jarice as he leads it up the floor. Has Kemp, goes that way. Cross-court pass, broken up by Wadsworth. And a good play by the senior forward to get back and regain the possession. 3-pointer, Grant Belknap, no good, and it's Chugg with the board. What a smallest man on the floor, and Cameron Chug able to come away with the rebound as that just dropped right over Jerice Blackman. In the corner now. Entry pass that Kemp's able to get a hand on. He says it's deflected, but officials disagree. It will stay here underneath. Dallin Watts and Cody Edwards check in for the first time tonight for the Lancers. Meanwhile, Branson Harrop has also come on for Fremont as a corner three. Hit by Max Hubbard. A big bucket there, 11-7 now, 3 minutes remaining here in the first. Up top with Jerice looking to drive. Boy, tough shot. Left it short, and now a penalty. Wrong sport, Dane. A foul going to be called here as over the back was Dallin Watts. Still Roberts has checked in. That's him playing defense, number 5 for Layton. Able to break that press. Outside, another three-pointer on the way for Hubbard. No good. Ball batted around as Justin Shaw comes up with it. Picked up his dribble now. And that ball knocked away. They're going to call a foul, and if this is on Watts, that'll be his second. It was the second foul on Watts. He will head to the bench as Armitstead comes back in for Layton. As up top is Cameron Chug. Boy, lofty pass. Able to be ran under by Chug. Of course, Chug also a football player for this year's Silverwolves, as was Shaw and a number of these basketball players. Good football this year for Fremont High as they won Region 1. Kicked out, three-pointer for Chug. That one's good! His first made three-pointer of the night. And it's 6 unanswered points for the Silverwolves as they pull to within 1. In the corner, Julian, and a blocking foul going to be called here. Just a little tap by Belknap as he picks up the foul. Boy, 16 fouls on Fremont already. Next one, Layton will be shooting bonus. 1:50 remaining here in the first quarter. Been a quarter of runs, initially by Layton and then by Fremont as Jerice can't hit that shot. Able to track down the loose ball, spin move, and Jerice can't hit that one. Now a difficult turnaround. That was off the mark by Edwards and rebounded by the Silverwolves. Belknap with it, looking to drive against this Layton D. He draws contact, and Grant Belknap will head to the line to shoot two as picking up the foul on the play was Cody Edwards. At the line, Belknap missed his first free throw. Meanwhile, Dakota James, the 6'7" junior, has checked in for Fremont as Belknap ties this ball game up at 11 apiece and a 7-0 Fremont run. Screen set by Jerice. Julian thought about pulling it up. Now a cross-court pass. Armitstead with a deep three. No good. Rebound chased down by Belknap and quickly down the other way as he looks to attack. That ball swatted by Julian Blackman. Still underneath. Swatted again. Back-to-back blocks by Blackman and Edwards. And now it's Julian is going to have a foul called on Dakota James as Julian attacking the hoop has led to good situations tonight for the Lancers. To the line he goes. Julian's first free throw good, second as well, and it's back to a 2-point lead for Layton with 1 minute remaining. That was the 7th team foul on Fremont, so Layton will be shooting free throws for the rest of the half. 1-1 on the next foul. Drive by Belknap, that cut off, good D by Armitstead, and then that ball ruled out as Hubbard was unable to establish himself back in the boundary. Came in from out of bounds, hence the turnover. I was going to say field of play. Obviously, Dane is still in football mode. We will try to make the transition here for you smoothly over the next couple minutes. Up top, Julian cross-court pass. Boy, good ball movement as a three-pointer on the way and made by Steele Roberts. The senior guard pushes that lead up to 5. And this Layton squad's done a really nice job passing the ball, and even without the dribble at times, able to make quick passes, get it to the open man and the open shot. As this ball turned over as Dakota James is trying to put a move on in the key and just had the ball slip out. 7 seconds left. Julian gonna have to hurry. Up quickly, back to Julian. 2 seconds, one, gotta shoot it. That ball's away and good! How about the buzzer beater by Steele Roberts? Back-to-back threes in the final minute. It was tied at 11. It's now 19-11. Layton out in front after one. Second quarter underway. The first one ended in heartbreak fashion for Fremont. They had clawed all the way back to tie it up. Now find themselves trailing by their largest deficit of the game, that being 8. Up top with Jones back in, playing with 2 fouls, looking to drive, kicked out as Jerice Blackman was in there with D. The three-pointer by Allen was no good. Julian has Armitstead open. Boy, he thought about it. Good closeout put on by Hubbard. Armitstead, again, the best three-point shooter. He'll take this one, and good. 3 straight three-pointers for the Layton Lancers, and the lead up to 11. Trying to answer that shot. Short. Shaw able to chase down the rebound. And now another 3 by Allen. No good as well. Shaw battling, comes down with the board. Going up strong. He was a little underneath the basket, and going to have the foul call here on Layton as Shaw will go to the line to shoot 2.
That was on Layton, number 5.
First points of the night for Shaw, I believe, as he made his first free throw. Second. That one front of the iron, and we'll get the roll. Again, a little token pressure here by Fremont. Julian able to pass out of it quickly. Near side, Jerice over to Julian. He's going to take the three-pointer. That one missed. As Coach Mullaney and the home crowd draw a little sigh of relief that the hot shooting at least subsided for a bit. Back of the iron on the three-point attempt by Hubbards. One shot and done for Fremont. Jerice, how about that move? Skies to the hoop and floats it up and in. Boy, got to close down that drive. Jerice able to take advantage, and really excited for his future at UCSB, the future Gaucho, and they're getting a good one in Jerice Blackman. Shaw with it, guarded by Blackman. Not much he can do there as he has to pass back out to Jones, holding. See, Jerice just a force inside with Wadsworth, goes up, left it shy, and rebounded by Layton. And again, the rebounding has gone dry for the Silverwolves here. Baseline, Edwards going to work, and the work pays off. Nice job by Cody Edwards. Drive and baseline, and the lead now 13 for the visitors. Nearly turned over by Hubbard, able to track that back down up top with Trevor Allen. Here's Shaw. And again, you can see Jerice steps out on him quickly in that man defense. Layton just not giving many looks here for Fremont. Up top, contested 3, and the foul called on Julian. He's a little frustrated with himself as he ran into Hubbard after the shot. Hubbard to the line to shoot 3. Hubbard able to make all 3 free throws. 26-16, the lead now for the Lancers as Hubbard heads to the bench. Coming back in for him is Grant Belknap. And if you're a Fremont fan, you hope that that free throw maybe gets a little bit of rhythm going, as a foul going to be called here on Shaw as he was trying to close off the drive of Blackman. Jerice made the front end of the 1-and-1. He's awarded a second shot here. Good as well. Belknap brings the ball up the floor. Screen by Harrop. And there's Julian, boy, able to get a paw on it, but couldn't track it down. Good moves put on by Shaw. He's able to cash in for a pair against Jerice. Good quick movement there by Shaw down in the blocks. Able to get an uncontested shot, is getting there and putting it. Boy, and they're going to say that that's out of bounds off of Layton. Now the official's going to confer, as I thought that Spencer Jones, no, we're going to have a foul. Spencer Jones came up and got the deflection. They're going to call an illegal screen down on the baseline, so it will be Fremont ball. Foul was on Huff, his first of the contest. And from now on, Fremont also going to be in the bonus for the remainder of this first half as we approach the midway point in this second quarter. The lead still 10. Shaw being pushed out of the key now. Again going to work down low. Justin Shaw. Back-to-back hoops for the senior. As now that lead down into single digits as Fremont just trying to chip away. Need a good defensive stand here. As that ball deflected by Shaw out of bounds. Boy, Shaw had a little bit of a quiet start to the evening, but he's really come alive lately on both sides of the floor. Has the tough task of going against Jerice tonight. That ball nearly turned over, able to be saved by Layton, and another baseline jumper put in by Cody Edwards. And I tell you, an unheralded senior's had a nice night here tonight for Layton. 30-20 now our score. Baseline to Belknap, dribbles out of the corner. Allen up top. Boy, a tough drive put on by Jones, kicks it out, three-pointer, and that one's good for Grant Belknap. The 5'10" senior guard with a big three-pointer. Fremont had some struggles for a little bit. Good ball movement there, able to find the open three, the drive and kick by Jones to Belknap. The two guards connecting, nearly turned over again. The loose ball on the floor. We'll get a jump situation. It's possession arrow. We'll stay with the Lancers. Inbounded to Julian. We're going to drive, pull up from 14. That one, boy, was halfway down and out, and then a foul on the rebound. This is going to be called on Mason Huff, his second, as Fremont now to the line to shoot 1 and 1. Kemp and Cragen both check in for Layton. At the line, Trevor Allen in a 1-on-1 situation makes them both. And it's 30-25. This is the smallest the lead has been since the waning seconds of that first quarter. We have 2.5 left here in the second. A nice comeback put on here by Fremont. They trailed by as many as 13. Now down to 5. As there's Shaw able to get the turnover. And then he gives it right back to Kemp. Boy, had a great opportunity there, able to get the turnover out of Jerice's hands. Was looking to go deep and failed to take into account the 6'8" forward Jacoby Kemp back there as Jerice with it now. Instead, he will back out. 2 minutes left. Blackman driving to the hoop, and they're going to call the blocking foul underneath as Jerice is aggressive and gets awarded for it. Is on the penalty, on the foul, Branson Herrick. And Jerice to the line to shoot. Wadsworth has checked in to the game for Fremont as Jerice at the line, able to make them both. Again, we see that full court pressure. It led to good things earlier in this contest as we get the reach from behind by Kemp, and the foul to the line to shoot will be Spencer Jones. Jones at the line, able to make them both. 32-27 as Jerice leads the offensive possession for the Lancers, being guarded by Shaw. Trying to spin, closed off nicely. Julian with it now. Going to work against Belknap, nothing there. Boy, all alone under the hoop is Craig, and they eventually get it to him, but by that time Fremont had recovered defensively as we're down to 1.5 minutes. Cragen, entry pass, and that one intercepted by Trevor Allen. Another Layton turnover leads to a break. Jones driving, and he traveled with it. Boy, the underneath official had a foul. The outside had the travel, and they give it to the outside official. Fremont frustrated with that foul call. Well, with that infraction, I should say. As Layton with a chance to redeem themselves here. They've gone a little dry offensively in the last couple minutes. Certainly not at the pace they were earlier, as Julian must have heard me. Goes right to work, able to get off the glass. 34-27, inside of 1 minute remaining here in the opening half. Been a good one, been close, has not been close at various times. Teams trading buckets right now. Entry pass to Shaw. Able to pull that away from Kemp. Three-pointer on the way, no good. And underneath, that ball out off of Fremont as it was Trevor Allen. Got a hand on it, looked like it came off of his thigh, and it will be back to the Lancers. Much cleaner second quarter as well for Fremont. Layton was shooting the bonus in the first, and only 19 fouls here on Fremont. Only 2 fouls in the second quarter. There's one on Julian. The offensive foul, he can't believe it. Nice job stepping in and taking the charge by Belknap. That's the second foul on Julian Blackman. He stays in the game as Max Hubbard is checked back in. Hubbard has had a tough first half shooting the ball, but made those 3 free throws. Be interesting to see if that helps him get his shot into a little bit of a rhythm here, as we're down to 15 seconds left in the first half. 34-27 is Belknap now. Down to 7 seconds left. And Allen Boy thought that he had his pocket picked, and instead it's a foul on Julian Blackman, and that is number 3 on the junior guard with only 3.6 left. Both free throws good, 34-29, 3 seconds remaining. Thrown up ahead to Jerice. Contested shot, no good. And with that, the half comes to a close. At one point, it was a 13-point lead. Fremont has fought back and pulled it within 5. 34-29, the lead to the Lancers here at halftime.
High School Rewind is excited to have Nudge as our Player of the Game sponsor. Nudge is one of the fastest growing companies in Utah Valley. With over 500 employees, Nudge is one of the largest contributors of volunteer community outreach programs. To learn more about Nudge and their program, visit www.nudge.com.
Second half underway here at Fremont High School. Silverwolves been clawing back into this one after trailing by 13 up top with Wadsworth. Now Shaw in the post, being defended by Jerice, trying to back him down. Boy, tough shot. Couldn't tell if that got deflected or not as Jerice comes up with the ball and will bring it up the floor for Layton. Julian Blackman back on the floor, number 1. He has it right now. Picked up his 3rd foul with about 3 seconds left in that first half. That's certainly going to be a storyline here as an illegal screen by that man right there. Boston Armitstead picks up the foul here early to start the second half. It's the first foul on Armitstead as Layton turns it over on their first offensive possession. Wadsworth near side with Allen coming around the screen. Again, it's Shaw gonna work in the post against Jerice. Tough shot, he gets fouled. Jerice Blackman looking around asking for what he did as Shaw to the line to shoot 2. That was the first foul on Jerice. Meanwhile, Shaw at the line. Shooting 2. Both free throws are good. And the lead is cut to 3. This is the closest they've been, again, since the last minute of that first quarter. Is now Coach Mullaney trying to cheer on his D. Up top with Kemp. Cragen had his defender in the air. Instead, gave it to Kemp. Now 3-pointer for Armitstead. Back of the iron. And there's Jerice to track it down for Layton. Pull up from 10 feet. Hits the front of the iron and spins in for the senior UCSB commit. Far side 3-pointer quickly from Trevor Allen. No good. Rebounded by Julian Blackman. Boy, he doesn't have the height of his brother, but certainly skied for that rebound as Armitstead puts it on the floor now. Driving and tied up. Good defensive recovery that time by Spencer Jones, able to tie up Armitstead. The jump ball will keep it here with Layton. Inbounded to Kemp, gave it back to Cragen in a tough position as he was really deep underneath his own rim. And airballed at Shaw. Now gonna come out. Ball finds its way to Belknap, making the drive, going glass, and Grant Belknap with the scoop shot, a difficult one at that. Nice answer put on there by the senior guard Belknap. Armitstead around the screen. Jones able to recover. As now Julian Blackman working in the post. And an offensive foul on Julian. Picked up what was Grant Belknap, who stood in and really exaggerated the contact, drew the whistle, and that will be 4 fouls on Julian Blackman as Dallin Watts now to check in for him. And Coach Miller giving the officials an impression of the play. He did not like the call as Julian just dejectedly will walk to the bench. Wadsworth with it, now to Shaw. Jerice quickly out to guard him from 17. Shaw, the spin move, couldn't get it to go. Difficult to get a shot around Jerice. He did a great job of that, but just not enough angle coming off the glass as it fell no good. Watts with the jump stop, being just hounded defensively, is back up top with Jerice. Coach Mullaney loving the effort by his Silverwolf defense. Kicked out, three-pointer on the way for Layton. Front of the iron, no good. And an over-the-back foul called on Dallin Watts as he doesn't like the call.
Foul committed.
That was the 3rd foul on Dallin Watts as he now has to come out of the ball game. Again, that lead down to 3. Belknap with it. Boy, got left and then just left it short. Had a wide open floater. Couldn't get it to fall in over the front of the iron, and a missed opportunity there for the home teams. Ball inside to Kemp. Turnaround good for Jacoby Kemp. Not a bad shooter, Kemp. He's 3 from 4 unofficially from the line, and has had some nice jumpers as well. As Jerice was in that passing lane, just couldn't come up with it. Now attacking the hoop, and going glass, and counting it is Branson Harrop. And right now, Fremont just eye for eye exchanging buckets with Layton. The offense has been more consistent for the Silverwolves here in the last quarter and a half as we are halfway through the 3rd. Kemp with it in the corner. Now Jerice giving some direction. Corner for Steele Roberts. He had a pair of threes at the end of that first quarter. Kemp with it now in the blocks. Boy, tough shot. Able to knock it down as Branson Harrop was all over him. And Kemp again, see his ability to hit the jumper, square up, take the shot. A tough one there and able to cash it in. Now Belknap gonna attack, kicks out to Justin Shaw. He's double teamed on the floor, driving, and scoops it up and in. Boy, nice attacking mindset that time by Justin Shaw, able to go to the hoop as we've got a foul now on the floor on the drive by Matt Cragen, as this foul will be called on Belknap. 2nd foul on Belknap as Chug and Hubbard have both checked in for Fremont. This ball inbounded to Jerice. Looking to drive on Hubbard. Good D put on. Now Kemp. He's been the man of these last couple minutes. Tried to get it back to Jerice instead of kick ball. Stays here with the blue. Jerice with it. Has a little forearm. Couldn't get the shot to fall, but the putback is good for Cragen. And that forearm, I don't mean to say there was a foul there. It was certainly Shaw trying to draw it as he draws a 3-point shot. Good, Justin Shaw. And the lead down to 2 now for Layton. On the drive, no good as it was Cragen attacking, It was Roberts attacking, able to pick up the contact as he will go to the line to shoot 2. Roberts at the line makes them both. 44-40, our score, 2:30 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Near side with Hubbard, now down low. Going glass and good as it's Spencer Jones working the post against the Layton guards and back to 2. Looking the way of Jerice, now he has to come out. There it is to Blackman, able to find his teammate all alone. It's still Roberts again. Roberts hits a pair of free throws. Now that little jumper He has been up to the task whenever called upon. Again, at the end of that first quarter and now in these last two possessions. Back out to Shaw. Being guarded there by Armitstead. And instead, Fremont will look to reset here with 1:40 left in the third quarter. Wadsworth. Shaw from straight away, three. Rimmed out on him, rebounded by Matt Cragen. And up with Armitstead, has a man in the corner to where he goes. It's still Roberts, back up top to Armitstead, thought about the three, instead drives, now finds Cragen underneath, gets his man in the air, contact by Chug, is to the line to shoot two, will be Matt Cragen. At the line, Cragen able to hit them both, 48-42 now the score advantage to the Lancers, as Belknap and Allen both checking back in for Fremont. This is Allen with it, looking to drive. Instead, we've got a foul. As Allen able to pick up the contact, as it will be ball out to Fremont underneath. Foul called on Cragen. 1 minute left here in the third quarter. Trevor Allen now driving against Kemp. Left that shot short, able to chase it down, goes back up. That shot too hard. Again, it's Allen, and he gets fouled on the third try. Tell you what, give a lot of credit to Trevor Allen, stuck with it, and on the third try, able to draw the foul on Kemp, is now Allen to shoot two. Edwards comes in for Layton. Hadley comes in for Fremont. As at the line, Allen made his first free throw, second attempt up and good as well. 59 seconds left as Jerice looks to inbound, barely saved by Armitstead, and it's Shaw able to deflect the pass and get the possession for Fremont. As Hayes Hadley with it now, top of the floor. Fremont here again with a chance to get back to within one possession. Inside, boy, they had Belknap all alone underneath, but it's, Trevor Allen. Then they had Belknap underneath, it was Allen instead going to work. Able to lay it in, 48-46, down to 23 left is Blackman. Oh goodness! That's a BYOB, bring your own booyah by Jerice Blackman. Able to dunk it right over the Silverwolf on the play, 50-46. We're down to 7 seconds remaining. Shaw gonna step up for three, straight away, front of the iron, no good. Rebound to Layton and the foul on the play to prevent the shot, the full court shot slash pass. 1.3 seconds left. 1.3 seconds left. Inbounded, Armitstead, good if it goes, it doesn't. 50-46, our score after three. The Lancers still in front. Welcome to the fourth quarter. This has been a stellar ball game. We've had it all. Great shooting, a highlight dunk by the future Gaucho, Jerice Blackman. And now we're in for a stellar finish. 7:45 away from a victory in what's been a great game as Armitstead couldn't complete the turnover, couldn't bring it in. Hubbard now to Jones. Allen had a really good third quarter. A couple big buckets to help keep Fremont right there with Layton. Is a tough pull-up by Belknap. Unable to drop, rebounded by Matt Cragen, and Layton comes back down the floor. Armitstead calling out the play for his squad. Being guarded by Belknap, now comes up. Boy, nearly turned over, is coming up was Hubbard. Nearly able to gather that in. Foul situation, 14 fouls on Fremont, 6 on Layton. So next Layton foul, and Fremont will be shooting the rest of the way. Meanwhile, Fremont still with 2 to give. Nice pass. Underneath, count the bucket. Cody Edwards had a really good game working baseline there, able to draw the contact by Jones. Bucket is good, and to the line to shoot one will be Edwards. Third foul on Jones, as checking into the game now is Branson Harrop. Free throw is good by Edwards. The lead up to 7 now, 53-46. And Edwards is not on my radar coming into this ball game. It's had a really good game, though. Up top with Belknap. Finds its way to Jones. Looking to drive against the zone. Kick out three for Trevor Allen. Another three-pointer for the Silverwolves. A big answer as it's back to 4. And right now, it's been this way in this entire second half. Fremont has answered nearly bucket for bucket. Trying to hang with the Layton Lancers. Again, it's Edwards. Missed the shot. Ball on the floor. No, he's out of bounds, Edwards was, and it will go back to the Silverwolves. Approaching 6 minutes remaining. It's Fremont working into their offensive possession. Belknap with it. Turns it right over to Jerice. Going the distance, and he's fouled on the play by Harrop. To the line, Jerice Blackman to shoot 2. Blackman at the line, able to make them both. 55-49. It's what you love to see out of your senior leader. The reason why he's going to play at the next level is a travel here by Shaw, trying to work in the post. Good defense put on by Cody Edwards, making it tough and turned over. Armitstead has Belknap draped all over him. And then that ball turned over. He's looking the way of Watts. He was going the other direction. Dallin Watts, a good junior guard, but he's had a tough night, hampered mainly by fouls. A couple calls that he hasn't liked. Really made it tough for him to get into a rhythm. Is now an offensive foul. And is this going to be on Shaw? It is. Offensive. Bringing it up will be Armitstead over to Watts. Jerice. Three-pointer on the way for Cragen. No good. Rebounded by Belknap. Is quickly up the floor now for Fremont. Belknap. Oh, what a block. And excuse me, it wasn't Belknap. It was actually Jones. Missed the shot. And right there to put it back for the Silverwolves. I think it was Harrop, though I'm not positive on that. That's why you follow your teammates' plays right there. Jerice down low, turns it over. This time it is Belknap leading the charge for the Silverwolves outside to Allen, and he is fouled. And Trevor Allen to the line as Armitstead will pick up the foul. At the line, Allen made his first, second free throw good. Back to 2, closest they've been since it was 11 apiece. Except for about 2 minutes ago when it was also 2. We won't count that. Here's Watts. He will dribble it out. Jerice. Inside to Edwards. Shot is blocked by Shaw. But there to pick it up and scoop it back in was Matt Cragen, and a quick timeout called by Coach Miller and the Lancers. Nearing the midway point here in this fourth quarter. Again, Fremont has been able to answer whenever Layton has required it. Julian Blackman back on the floor. He has 4 fouls. Shaw now underneath, going against Edwards. Help defense coming from behind, and Watts as Shaw couldn't get the shot to fall in the double team. And now Julian with as he calls out the play. Big possession here for both sides. You certainly don't want to go down by 6 or 7 if you're Fremont. Three-pointer for Dallin Watts, no good, and an easy rebound that time for Grant Belknap as there wasn't a Lancer around. Allen for 3 again, no good. That ball batted out of bounds off of Layton, as they're going to say that the bat was off of Edwards, I believe, as the official says it touched and will be Fremont ball. Inbounded to the backcourt, and Grant Belknap for the Silverwolves. Trailing here by 4. 3:15 remaining. Picked up his dribble. Zone defense here for Layton. We've shown this on and off at times throughout the game as Belknap's shot comes off the iron, rebounded by Cragen. Watts trying to look the way of Edwards, instead goes back to Julian. Little floater, back of the iron, ball batted, out of bounds. We'll stay here with Layton. Cragen to inbound. Up top, and that ball is picked off by Belknap, and then Watts comes back to pick up the foul to prevent the easy lay-in. How about that play by the senior guard, Grant Belknap, who's had a nice night. Fourth foul on Watts. Meanwhile, 1-and-1 situation for Grant Belknap. Front end, no good. Rebound falls to Jerice. And a big opportunity there, uncapitalized by the Silverwolves, as Julian near side with Dallin Watts. Back to Julian, 2.5 remaining. Layton happy to play a little keep away right now. Belknap comes out. Cragen with it again, now in the corner to Edwards. Fremont, good pressure D's. Belknap nearly able to get a hand on that. Watts back to Julian, mid-floor. Under 2 to play. Effective possession here, taking a lot of time off as Jerice, good passing, finds the way back to Julian near side. Clock down to 1:45. Julian with some fancy ball handling there. And back it comes. Boy, got to be exhaustive for Fremont. They've been playing defense now for over a minute. And a lot of high energy defense. Back to Dallin Watts. Trap to Cragen. Thought about the cross court. Now Watts again, and there's a foul. Boy, about a 1.5-minute possession there for the Lancers as Dallin Watts will head to the line to shoot 1-and-1. 1-and-1 for Watts, front end. Missed it, and the rebound is brought in by Edwards. Ball on the floor, and it's Belknap who comes out. Leading the charge over to Allen, and that ball is blocked by Jerice. Oh, goodness. He had a thunderous dunk earlier and a huge block right there for the UCSB commit. Goes up and gets fouled, and Jerice Blackman back to the line to shoot. That was a third foul on Allen, and Blackman at the line makes them both, and it's a 59-53 lead for the Lancers. Under a minute to play here in the contest. Hubbard gonna fire the three, back of the iron. Been a tough shooting night tonight for Max Hubbard. Rebounded by the Lancers, back down, and then turned over. No, it's Jerice able to come up with it, and then a timeout quickly taken by Coach Miller. Good, smart call there to save the possession, as it was Jerice who had it on the floor. Inbounded to Julian, laying it up and in. That's an easy 2 for the junior guard. The lead back up to 9, 32 seconds left as Belknap with the drive, nearly turned it over, ruled out of bounds off of Cragen. It will stay here with the Silverwolves. Cragen and Allen both check back in for Fremont. Inbounded to Shaw underneath. An easy inbound play there, and a quick timeout taken by Coach Mullaney for Fremont. Lancers to inbound, 26 seconds left, lead by 6. Turned over, oh, and Hubbard just couldn't control it. He had it. 24 seconds left now. Fremont had a chance at the turnover, and another chance, and a jump ball called. As this time it's Edwards and Belknap able to tie him up. Possession arrow will keep it with the Lancers. So for a third time now, Layton trying to inbound. Cragen to Jerice, and that should be a travel, and there's the call. Jerice came down and then fell on his back, and it's a travel in the rule book. Fremont ball. Harrop checks in for Fremont now. 6-point lead for Layton, 21 seconds left. This is Harrop with it. Over to Allen, three-pointer, no good. Loose ball, and it's Julian Blackman who has it. 10 seconds left as they race to foul him, and they will. Julian Blackman will head to the line to cement this game away. Julian shooting 2 at the line, missed his first one. Second free throw is good, 62-55, 8.8 left on the clock. Belknap with it. Kicks outside to Allen, contested 3. That one is good. With 0.2 seconds left, they could have used that about 20 seconds ago. Mulaney will take a timeout, 62-58. 0.2 left to inbound to Julian. That will start the clock and end the contest. 62-58, the Lancers hold off a ferocious Fremont comeback and improve to 3-0 in Region 1 play. Again, our final score here from the Wolf Den at Fremont High School. The Layton Lancers victorious tonight, 62-58 over the Fremont Silverwolves. And what a contest this was. We thought it would be a close ball game. It certainly was. It was tied up at 11 with just a minute left to play in that first quarter. And boy, a couple really big plays in that last minute for Layton. They would have a 19-11 advantage after one. That lead got as big as 13 in that second quarter, but do not count out these Fremont Silverwolves. We told you, much improved over last year. They've got a lot of experience back this year. They have a lot of kids that can really score the basketball, and they showed a real heart and will here tonight, fighting back. They would claw back to within 5 at the break, and then to the second half we would go, and it would be Jerice Blackman who had 2 absolutely huge plays in this ball game. First of all, the dunk. Wow, I mean, that kid, he obviously wears PF flyers in the hallways of Layton High School. That kid can absolutely jump as he skied to dunk it right over a Silverwolf in the most emphatic play of the evening. But maybe the bigger play was in that fourth quarter. I believe it was a 4-point ball game at that point, and he came down and made an absolutely enormous block right at the rim on a play to give possession back to the Lancers. And boy, it was a really big defensive stand. At that point in the ball game, it was about 2 minutes left, a point where Fremont was seemingly matching Layton possession for possession, and that time they did not. Gave a lot of confidence, a little bit of swagger to that Layton team as, again, they were able to close out a close one here at Fremont High School. As we mentioned there at the end, the Layton High Lancers 3-0 in region play and setting up a couple of real doozy ball games coming up for them, as their next contest will be against Northridge, a team that has struggled to this point out of the gates in region play. But of course, Davis, always tough. That game, their first matchup coming up around the corner as well. Meanwhile, for the Silverwolves, they fall to 7-6 overall, 1-2 in region play. A really tough loss against Davis. This one might be even tougher to swallow. They fell down big. They came all the way back. Justin Shaw had a spectacular night tonight, but some of the shooters, Hubbard struggled from distance. Allen was a little spotty. They had opportunities to make big plays and big shots to get them back, and they just couldn't quite do it. They came up a little short here tonight. Their next game will be at the Syracuse Titans, an opportunity for them to get back to their winning ways as they were earlier in the season and try to snap a streak now of losing 4 out of their last 5. Again, our final score here from Fremont High School, the Layton Lancers, 62-58 victors over the Fremont Silverwolves. And it's now time for us to announce our Nudge Player of the Game. Congratulations to Jerice Blackman, the future Gaucho, as he had a spectacular night tonight. Again, we mentioned those 2 plays so big in this ball game, made some big free throws late for the Layton team, really helped lead the way. The senior led the way tonight for Layton High School. We want to thank you for joining us on this edition of High School Rewind. For Bill Francis, my name is Dane Stewart. It's been our pleasure. We'll see you next time.